So Katana, we're going to come to you in Tennessee. If you just have to unmute yourself, and then we should be able to hear your question.
Good evening, Kathy. Good evening, Catherine. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the wonderful book. My question for you is, given the severity of disunity in the United States, created by the two-party voter prison system, aka the duopoly, how do you propose creating unity without a a unified local plus national effort approach to changing the rules of the game?
Great question. So believe me, Katana, I would love to have the belief that sort of a centrally organized, controlled, perfect, shall we say, organization could come together at the top, at a national level, and really push this everywhere. But there are two reasons why that doesn't happen. And the first is the nature of systems. So, if we just think of sort of like what comes first, chicken and egg, and you just go like that. So any system is just a larger version of what comes first. So does the divisiveness come first, or the parties come first, or the divisiveness? And really they keep feeding back into each other. So the rules of the game feed into the division, and then the division feeds into people willing to sort of push those rules of the game even further and make them even more divisive and more unfair, et cetera. So when we discover a system that isn't working, there's a lot of things in it that aren't working. So it's not just these rules of the game that I want to change that are the ones that aren't working, but these rules of the game, the party-controlled primaries and ranked choice voting in general elections, these are the ones we can change. So the question in the system is not what should you change, because there's usually about 10, 50 things you need to change. The question is, which of those things could you change? And then when you get in and change the one that you can change, it actually makes the other things easier. So it's saying, where is the leverage? Where is the point of entry? Where is the back door into this dysfunction? So instead of saying, because I agree with you, if we could have a national movement to come together, that would be in and of itself helpful, and then being more unified would make it easier to change the rules. But we can't make that happen. So we have to make happen the rules changes, and then the competition becomes a competition which is far less incented to divide people in order to win, and therefore that begins to alter the divisiveness, and that becomes a virtuous circle instead of a vicious circle.